Yeah, well, first time for everything.
So, no show next week.
Right, no show next week. Christmas sale, sextacular, one-up show finale, the 22nd.
Sextacular. Sex is not in my contract.
It just says things like that to make us sound hipper than we actually are.
Yeah. Well, Ray, it's not with you.
Hey, Skip.
Hey. What's up?
How's that wireless guitar working out?
Rocks.
Nice.
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 Very,
That's pretty
very
sweet.
highly rated.
Have to get myself one of them.
I gotta go get some Urban
gotta
Outfitters
know
gift
people.
certificates.
Yeah, I know people
Yeah.
who know people, so that should.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is called Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Best Zelda ever, man.
I can't help but notice that your Super Nintendo controller looks kind of odd.
I keep trying to swing my sword and it's not working. I think it's busted or something.
Nice. So this is not available in America still, right?
No,
you got the import Wii in.
It's Nihongo only.
Lovely. We have our our import Wii in. Do you know what this means?
Means I can play Zelda on Wii.
It does mean that, but it means something else. Do you know what this means?
No.
Nope. Do you know what this means? I'll tell you what this means. Import Wii Party! Yeah! Yes! Yes! No! You know it! Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Ah! 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 Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes! 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 Yes!
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, I don't wanna go to work today. I wanna stay home and play all my video games on the one-up show. You know you'll be a star on the one-up show. You already are. Every day, this life's a holiday. One up, 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 one up on the one-up show. One up, 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 one up on the one-up show.
When I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, it's just a regular Metal Gear game, you know, from point A to point B and boom. But like, it's completely different. And one good thing I've noticed is that the missions are definitely made for like portable gaming.
Yeah,
like they're so short, which is really, really good.
Yeah, if needed, it takes like under a minute to finish some missions. Like go here, go there, go kill that guy, go get that thing. What takes a long time for me is that I want to recruit every dude I run into, and I gotta like trank them and then drag them to either my truck, which sounds like I'm some sort of weird rapist or something, or like I throw them in a box, which my box friend does a truck throwing for me.
Yeah, it adds a lot because it really is kind of like a simplified, like smaller scale Metal Gear game. Like how deep the overall game is and the structure and the open-ended structure. Like if you don't know what going into, you have to like send your groups of people in these teams of 4 to these different locations on a map, and
they gotta scout it.
Yeah,
Look
while
for
they're
boxes
scouting,
to hide in.
they'll find missions. So like they report back. You have these missions. You go do the missions in whatever order you want, largely.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
mean,
very open-ended.
there's always one mission that will advance the story, but other than that one mission, you can pick any other thing you went to. And those other missions, how you get things like the shotgun. Like I got the shotgun pretty early because my spy said, "Hey, there's a shotgun in this like room in this other base." I'm like, "Okay," and I got a shotgun, and now it's easier for me to put out with the aiming scheme because with a shotgun, if you just hit the L and you're next to him, you got wide enough spray, you can hit the dude and kill him instantly.
Yeah, I mean it's if it wasn't Metal Gear, I don't know if I'd put up with it. In terms of like, I mean, like I'm kind of used to kind of a little bit fighting sometimes with Metal Gear's controls a little bit, especially, but the nub makes it really hard. Like, you know, the L trigger helps, but I mean, I don't know.
I would say the controls work, but they aren't exactly what I want for it. But I think it's.
But then I think
they're saving that for 4. All the control things they're going to change. I guarantee they're saving it for 4.
That also, like, yeah, controls are like it's just controls on a PSP. Like, it's really like a case of what can you do with this.
But I find myself like the problem between standing, ducking, and crawling in Metal Gear. You know, I'm kind of used to that now. But in this game, more than ever, it seems to me. Like, I wish I could very quickly go from crawling to standing to running and like have better control over it without, you know, getting hit in close quarters. My camera's too close to me. I don't know what's happening. Like, that does happen to me in this game.
I mean, the only way I was able to alleviate it was like I got the shotgun early enough so that when some asshole is right in my face, I just hit L and hit square it really fast with shotgun and like I blow him away and go, well, I can't recruit him. At least I'm alive still. I can eat a whole bunch of food or medicine to like heal myself.
Another weird thing is the story. I like it. It's more like Metal Gear 3 than I expected. And like the cutscenes, as cool as they are, like they're not quite as cool as like Metal Gear Solid 3's cutscenes. Like,
I mean, I really love Metal Gear's cutscenes, but I don't know if I really want something that in depth for my portable game. I think it's different. I have to say I was playing it last night a lot, and I was actually like enjoying the cutscenes. And I want a speedier game up for Metal Gear on the PSP, and I think that serves also with the missions and the story, how it's cut with the the illustrations and stuff.
What are you? You're a monster! You try to kill a man, then call him monster? Such crude behavior. Damn it! My arm!
as a really serious Metal Gear fan, I'm a little upset that this is kind of the sequel to Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's like if they were going to make a sequel to my favorite Metal Gear Solid 3, I would have loved for them to do it like balls out, like full-on game. Instead, we get this interesting episodic.
But you wanted, so basically, you're saying you wanted the sequel on a console.
I would like the sequel's narrative to be done full justice. I don't think it can be here.
So you just joked down like the trend of making a like 1.5 sequel on a handheld portable, while the home consoles get the real numbers.
I mean, when you have a franchise like this, I almost like to keep like the real games, like the main games, regulated to home consoles. And like they did the GB Metal Gear with Ghost Babel. That was its own like self-contained thing. That was fine, and like but here these events are really happening. These things it does tell the story of Naked Snake, what happened. So it's a reason to keep playing, but at the same time, that Kojima, this isn't his game, and this isn't like necessarily his entire vision for the franchise. But they did a really good job with it.
I mean, when I asked him, a couple of years ago after he finished 3, what do you want to do? Would he rather pick up from after Snake Eater or after 2? And he's like, I want to pick up after 2. So he kind of did what he did want to do. My one question though from playing this game is how much do you think this was like their experiment to see what they could bring over to 4, like in terms of like online play and like do you think any of this stuff is going to show up in 4's multiplayer?
I don't know. It's not that different than what we saw in Subsistence.
Because in 4 you are choosing sides. So like, will the recruiting aspect be brought on? Because I mean, think about it, it doesn't come out till next fall, so they have these in 9 months or so to kind of use. Okay, what are people doing here, and what can we bring, and what works and what doesn't work, and what we can work on the console version.
It's a very good game that shows off like all these things about the PSP, and is also a very good Metal Gear.
Yeah, it makes other PSP developers like, it's like, okay, where are you guys? What are you guys doing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Whoa! Whoa!
So this is gonna be one that's signed. Soft. Yep.
Go Diamond City!
Okay.
Pump it. Pump it,
Go,
Skip.
go!
Pump it
Pump
first.
that shit. God, you pump it so well.
Pluck the nose, hit the nose.
Get her hair.
Oh, pluck it, pluck it.
Oh, she is ugly.
Close the gate.
What kind of robot child are you that he's like,
I know,
he sees it and he's like, close the gate, and the rest of us are like,
You can tell by the number.
Diamond City.
I think it's time for Nelson's time to shine. Come on, come on, come on. You know exactly what to do before any of us.
fucking suck it up to Ryan wearing a Half-Life t-shirt. Jesus Christ. There's fucking pizza here yet.
Diabolical.
WarioWare. Serious, who knew? Nelson was such a killer. Nelson, how'd you get to be such a killer at WarioWare?
It takes a lot of practice, but there was some parts where I was just watching what Skip and you were doing. It's just, I don't know, playing so many different WarioWares for the Game Boy, especially Twisted, where you got used to the sensor. That's where things just started gelling together. So
you played WarioWare before, like this wasn't your first time picking it up?
okay.
He's been. I think Nelson's played this game.
I've never played this game. I kind of lied.
Twist it, shake it, pop him, hit him. How did he get to be the Zen master of WarioWare? Because the whole thing about WarioWare that makes me insane is like how you have to kind of stop thinking about it.
That's why I love I haven't played a WarioWare since the first one. I'm having trouble with it. It's not clicking right away with me because I didn't play Twisted, so I don't know the whole sensor thing.
One of the things is where we're playing, the space is a little limited. So like really I was amazed at how if you are doing the very proper motion, it will listen. Like it absolutely knows, and it knows the difference between just holding it on your head like this or just trying to trick it and like holding it like that. Now put the apple in the basket. Yeah!
Put the lotion in the basket!
There was one where you had to pick it up real quick off the ground, and I didn't have it set on the ground, so it wasn't perfectly still, and it messed it up. It like started to pick up the phone, and I thought my hand was really still, but it was being super, super picky. Like I can feel myself like getting like all tense about it, like, oh my god, okay, what's next, and then
See, that's the thing with WarioWare. That's why everyone loves it, but I wasn't quite feeling it just yet. And we've only played a little bit so far, but I wasn't feeling the rush that I felt when playing the very first one. Like it wasn't quite as manic. Granted, we were playing in Japanese, and it took a while to figure out exactly what to do. But even with that removed, because of the Wii controller, you still there's that layer you have to decipher at first.
ただし逆さまに持ってはいけません。禁じ手です。おにぎり。
I don't know. I felt like I was getting the frantic pace, just the fact that we actually had to move. When you're playing the other ones, you're sort of just like, oh, I can tap it, I can press A, that's fine. But this one, I'm just like, oh, I actually have to do a shredding motion.
Like at the beginning levels, like everybody can have fun because it is kind of like you accidentally got it.
There you go.
What the?
That's good. You wanted that. That was good.
I don't think the whole accidentally getting it thing is necessarily good because, again, with the first WarioWare, you didn't accidentally get it. You just kind of like jump. Okay, A, jump. Of course, then that makes sense. But with this, it's just kind of like, how do I twist it? I'm twisting it the right way, right? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But once you get used to it, it's fine. But again, the magic of WarioWare is playing it for the first time and figuring out, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, and it's those leaps of logic that I think actually the Wii will help with, because it seems like with the original WarioWare especially, like I would think that other people would really enjoy it, but so much of it took it took gaming sensibility that you didn't know you had until you played that game.
Right.
Like, oh, I've seen this before.
Right,
I know
right.
he has to jump here.
Right.
And somebody who'd never seen that before wouldn't know.
I wasn't so impressed with the 9-volt stages.
No,
Not so impressed.
Maybe
I was really excited when I first saw the video, but Star Fox was fun, controlled a little janky. Punch Out, I don't want to hit the button 3 times. I want to punch the dude.
Right.
You didn't like balloon. You didn't like the balloon.
Balloon fight was
homage?
fun.
Balloon fight was
like.
cool.
Yeah. Was it you, or was it the naysayer? Always was
The surly guy with the beard.
Yeah, that
Duke
that,
Smith, I think his name is.
Yeah, something. Douche Smith. He was saying that this game, WarioWare, is like the most next gen game out there. It's like the most innovative.
I didn't quite understand that.
Gameplay. Okay.
Was that Ryan?
That was Ryan.
Okay, that was Ryan, douchebag. No, it is. It's like
I fucking hate that Ryan guy.
that Ryan guy.
Man.
It's incorporating all of the next gen stuff that the Wii promised when it first came out. It's got, you know, every imaginable so far thing that the Wii can do, and you're putting it into the game.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there in the same package, and anybody can pick up and play it.
Not standing up. Cheating.
It's not cheating. Look, it's happy for it.
Cheating. Jumping rope.
It really jumped.
I think a lot of developers should look at this one and look at all the different concepts, all the different ideas with the motion, with the controller, and then maybe build from that.
Right.
Like the same way that Wii Sports, you can build sports, like real sports games off of that.
Right, and look at what doesn't work.
Yeah, look at what doesn't
As
work.
hard as they look at what does.
The other WarioWares, that's 20 years of gaming, like traditional gaming
Right.
that they're building on. Now it's this, like the next WarioWare, when everyone knows all the motions, all the typical motions with the Wii, that's when it's gonna.
And we were still unlocking more of them.
Yeah.
Rated RP to M.
I get a real old school arcade game vibe out of Lost Planet. Actually, it's got all like the crazy 3D graphics and the and that, but it's actually like very much like an old school Japanese kind of arcadey action game. Like you're shooting, all the monsters have like glowing spots, you know, that's their weak point. You're picking up a lot of power ups all the time. You're always getting this goo that refills your thermal energy that keeps you alive. Some big levels, and the levels go indoors and then outdoors and then indoors again, which I really like. Like I really like the flow of the levels.
Sometimes a stage can take like 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
To
Also,
complete.
I would discover like some of the stages there was definitely like one path through, but then you could go back and you could find other little ways around and through that I hadn't even noticed.
Right.
There's also all these little like coins that you can shoot. I don't know if you guys
Another
saw
thing
those.
that made it feel like a kind of an old
Yeah,
school game. Yeah.
exactly.
Once you get in a mech, which I love the mechs, like the feeling of the mechs is
feel awesome.
great. But once you
Yeah.
get in a mech, you can actually, some of them move slower, but some of them move really fast, and you can double jump, you can turbo boost, and they just feel like you're in this lumbering huge thing, and you.
I love mech games, and these mechs feel good.
Yeah.
Like they feel real. They don't. I mean, when they're slow, you understand that this mech is powerful.
Right.
And there's so many mechs. I mean,
There's
as
a lot
you go
of different
along
ones.
through
Some
the
of them
game.
even transform, which
And
is so
they
cool.
fully transform, and when
Yeah.
they transform, like the fact that like every mech you get into differently, and you watch your character like crawl into it differently, and then when it transforms, it makes sense where your character goes in that mech.
The awesome feeling of the mech like carries into multiplayer, where when you're like, oh man, there's a mech, I'm getting into that mech.
Yeah.
You get into that mech and you feel super powerful. You instantly become a big target to everybody.
A huge, super powerful target.
Yeah. The missiles in this game are like the coolest, like the rocket launcher in this game. There's a part, I think it's in the second level, where you're in this tunnel, and I was just shooting some other guy, and all of a sudden I hear
When I was playing through that tunnel, I just picked up a sniper rifle and just shot down every one of the guys, like 1, 2, 3, and they didn't move. It was just like
you guys
shooting
were both,
gallery.
You guys were both noticing that. I did notice a couple times where I would see a guy and he was just like running into a wall, and like my girlfriend was like, "What's that guy doing?" And I'm like, "I don't think he knows what he's doing."
It's like, don't expect the enemies to do any sort of like neat flanking or squad mechanics that you've seen in like Rainbow Six or Gears of War or anything like that. It's like an arcade shooter.
You were saying the acrid, you know, these indigenous life forms. Like, it's forgivable that, oh, well, they're bugs, you know, they're not some sort of big, fat, smart bug.
But that's the thing, is I almost feel that they're smarter than
there are a lot of times where I felt like they did smarter things.
With so many acrid in the area, the pirate base must be in a location they can't reach.
Shooting guys, enemies, humanoid guys that don't do anything. It's like a shooting gallery. But like the other, when it's the bugs, it kind of reminded me of Gun Valkyrie, like this old Xbox game that Sega made. And, and like, which was the same sort of thing, like bug holes. You know, they would get released, and then you kill the little hole, and they clean up all the bugs. And they pretty much stick around their little like birthing holes, but if you get too close, they'll like come and attack you. Yes, they're emergence holes.
Yeah.
They'll come and attack you, and so you know that I think that part of the gameplay feels fulfilling. And then you have like those more giant acrid guys.
The bosses in the in some of the levels are just kind of part of the levels. Like there's a huge worm in one level that chases you around.
Beautiful. That you don't. I mean, right now you don't actually have to kill.
In fact,
like, you
they
can
actively tell you to run by him.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
and there's the same thing. There's a giant moth at another level that drops these like exploding eggs.
It is beautiful. It is really fun to run through.
There's, you know, there's little nitpicky things that, you know, for whatever reason, like, it kind of irritates me that, like, when I shoot two big barrels that look the same, they are destroyed exactly the same. They look like rockets, you know? It's a small detail, but it's like, in that moment, it just, yeah, they look perfect if they were alone, but when you've got, like, a line of 3 of them and they're all destroyed the same, it's like, it takes you out of it for a second.
Even like a game that's all about like snow and ice, like the environments are varied.
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though it's
that's
like,
a good point.
Even though
that's
it's
a really
like all covered in snow and ice, like you never get bored looking at it.
I think even separate from just different paths, there's different ways you can take on the same level. Like, it's something cool. Like there's that room that we were talking about. It's just a big room full of guys.
It was one of my favorite rooms in the whole game. It was just a giant box.
And you did it totally differently. Like you attacked it totally differently than I did. I came in like throwing grenades, hid behind some stuff, and just like peeked out, shoot a guy, throw more grenades, peek out, shoot another guy. I like blew up that mech with a rocket launcher.
When I was approaching the room, the mech was already firing rockets at me. So as soon as it came out and made itself visible in the door, I took one shot with like the normal machine gun, zoomed in. I just like took out the guy who was riding in it. He popped out of the top, like doing a giant fucking flip, landed on the ground. I killed him, ran to the mech, got in, and started destroying everything. It was totally fulfilling, and like there were other mechs in the room. People would get in, like, yeah, at that point it was actually good, and it felt like the guys were doing something.
Listen, acquire some data posts for us.
Oh yeah, let me go work.
Join it there, Bubba. I think there's trash up there. Head up there. Okay.
Oh, I want to do that. There we go. Awesome.
but people are playing from like Japan. I was in a game with people from Japan, Korea. You guys both play with guys from Japan, UK, like everywhere. But the sad thing is, like, I think the multiplayer right now, it's like super straightforward. Elimination, it's like whatever, it's super straightforward. Team elimination is kind of fun because you have these posts, the penis pumps, as you guys love to call them, like that you can take and get more points on your side. But really, like, the most fun that I had playing was post grab, which that mode is not available right now for people to be playing it, but we were playing it.
Yeah, that was totally fun.
Play 2 teams, and there's 5 of these posts throughout the map, and then you just get down and jam on B, and you take the post for your team. So it's kind of like, you know,
it's like territory
yeah,
a little bit.
Kind of like that, yeah.
But you have to spend time at that particular post. You really have to use team tactics because one person is going to be basically immobilized and be a target.
Right.
Because they're going to be there jamming on B trying to get that penis pump working.
Right.
And then, you know, somebody else has to watch him because you can see when they're changing it.
Right.
So you can, you know, if you've got somebody with a rifle, they can just, you know, pick them right off.
Take a beat on them. But the other cool thing is if you have 2 or 3 people who all attack it at once and are all jamming B, it goes way faster.
Yeah.
I was sitting there jamming on it once, and I was asking Garnet to cover me, but he decided he wanted to start jamming on the post too, and I just see one of these disc grenades go shpoop and stick to him right as he crouches down and starts covering. I'm like, no, no, and then boom, like we all blew up, and Luke got us both. Yeah. I like the different grenades too. There's that decoy grenade where you throw it at a little inflatable dude.
A robot and he just starts running.
And it'll blow up if anybody gets close to him or shoots him. And there's the sticky grenades, the frisbee grenades. Like.
And the weapons don't seem balanced at all for multiplayer right now. It just seems like there are too many weapons that are like just horribly unbalanced.
Well, I think it becomes like a Quake-like scenario where it's like it is race to get the weapons, and you can change the starting weapons, and you can change like where the weapons spawn, or you can make it random.
I think most people are going to pick it up for the single player, and then, you know, the fact that it has a multiplayer component, and especially one that even now as a demo is being enjoyed by like people all over the world. Like you don't hop into another shooter and fight against Japanese players.
Right.
That just doesn't ever happen. It's like the Metal Gear Online games, but like it is tighter than those games. Like it's a better experience, and I think like
and the
because it's
grapple
on
hook
live,
and that stuff, it does provide like a cool kind of, and the mechs. The mechs work.
It's like by the time it comes out in January, like people are gonna be pretty done with Gears, and it's not Gears.
Like I think a lot of people have a pretty good impression of what this game is like now. If you played the demo and you liked it, you're gonna enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Wing Island, not one of the games that made it over the pond. I think,
thankfully,
you can kind of see why. I mean, it's just like so simple.
It's the Red Steel of flight games.
I mean, it's basically it's kind of Pilot Wings, but it's very simple, and I don't even think like Pilot Wings would cut it anymore. I mean, it's just too. It's like that one little mini game in WarioWare where you're guiding a paper airplane, but that's kind of the whole game. And you can do different little moves to be turboing and cutting and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're formation flying biplanes.
I mean, it's like what we've talked about all along. Like these games that are sort of like extended mini games aren't. They're not worth it.
You know what's not an extended mini game? Necro-fucking-Misha. That's right. I got it right here. You're in luck. I know you've been waiting for it. Let's put it in. Let's put it in.
How do I get into this?
It's basically Zelda.
Why the fuck are you playing Necronesia?
Because it's awesome.
How did you know this was Necronesia?
What other game looks this shitty?
Shenmue.
It's important story points.
I'd rather play Wii Play. Let's.
Why don't we play a real system like the Xbox 360?
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look at this anymore.
No Japanese, but saying this
She's
book.
saying, turn this off. Let's play, we play.
Honestly, she was starting to say something about bugs.
Really?
Yes.
Turn it back on.
About to get awesome.
Turn it back on.
The praying mantises were about to come out, and I was
This
about
game
to
is
start
gonna
hitting
be
them with
awesome.
stones and sticks.
I'm pretty sure it's Resident Evil shit. It's okay. We don't need to play it. Hey, what's that game that's Resident Evil Boat? You guys know which one I'm talking about, too.
Cold Fear.
Cold Fear, that's right. Resident Evil Boat.
So we play, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 games.
We've played all of them.
We played all of them.
You won most of them.
But yeah, and you loved all of them.
Yeah, equally like Peter Moore talking about first party games.
They're almost like WarioWare games. They're almost like micro mini games. Half of these games are the games that the very first time they showed the Wii in Japan these are more developed versions of those same games. So like the fishing game is exactly one that they had. The shooting game was another one. The duck hunt shooting one, which is the one that I think we both probably like the most, where you have to do little things and not shoot the other guy's thing and shoot the UFOs. Cow racing,
cow
which is
racing
kind of
one.
fun.
That was a good one, riding the cows.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, fatty.
Oh.
Fucking yeah.
Wow.
Great.
You piloted that cow.
The tank game, a game of angles and
It's
skill,
combat. It's actually
but you just shot my tank.
Oh.
You're
What is killing me?
You're trying to kill the thing on the other side, not me.
Well, why would it let me kill you if I'm not supposed to?
Because it's a trap.
Don't shoot her. I'm gonna fucking. I'm sorry. I thought you shot. I thought you shot at me that time. I was paranoid. It was a John Woo movie situation. We both had guns pointed at each other. That brown
really
tank. I won't kill
Together
you this
you
time.
must defeat the brown tank.
You can kill me
This
if
is
you
like
want
head
to.
to
Oh
neck
no,
with a
I'm
big
above
fish.
that. I just want to fucking win.
Every instinct that you have as a video gamer from Atari 2600 Combat, which is a little bit better. I wish there was like bouncy shot, or I mean invisible tanks and the different options.
Wait, so I just want to clarify. You just said that a game for the Atari 2600 is better than what we're playing right now in 2006?
Yeah, was better than one of the little, like Atari 2600 Combat, I'm sorry, had Tank Battle, had way more different options. I mean, this has a few different stages. It's the same basic idea. It's just a way simplified version.
That's Mark McDonald, director, GameVideos.com.
But yeah, as a standalone product, I gotta say, I wish there was more. It
Yeah.
it almost feels like this should be built into the system. Like, not even be a disc. This should just be like a little 32K, chip or bit of memory somewhere in the system where when you turn the thing on, it's there. Because it's very accessible. In fact, it's even more accessible than Wii Sports, I think, in a lot of ways.
Isn't this super cheap? Isn't this going to be cheap when it comes
Yeah,
to
it's not right. It's not
$5.
It's not
That's about right. Not missing much. This Japanese
Yeah,
Wii thing.
I'm not feeling kind of.
Yeah, besides WarioWare, which we're getting in like a month, and I mean Tecmo Golf is good. We know that we played the US one, but like all the games that aren't coming over here, like.
That's fine.
Gundam,
It's just the virtual console stuff. I just want to play Zelda right now.
Zelda and Castlevania would both be really nice.
Star Heroes, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So, what do you want to play next? We got My First Wii.
No.
No.
For that, yeah.
Wing Island.
No.
Necronesia. No.
Oh,
wait.
Take this one.
Yeah.
Really?
I say we go back to WarioWare.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anybody
Papa.
got object?
Cool.
Finish it.
Beat this game tape.
You're with me. Let's go.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play Elite Beats store. Hey, look what you're doing! That's a present for someone, it's not for you.
You hate puppies. You hate him. Go ahead, hate him. Watch out for other people.
You guys are ruining Christmas.